Hello, guys. Hi, Tamsin. Hi, Carla. Hello, everybody, as you are jumping on. Hello. Hi, Debbie. Hi, Rachel. Oh, it's going to be a good one tonight. Hi, Caroline. Everyone's jumping on. Hi, Vivi. Hi, Jen. And here is the main man himself. Hi, Jerry. Can you hear us, Jerry? Can you hear us all right, Jerry? Can everyone else hear me okay? Hi, Jerry.
Danny Wells.
Danny.
Hello.
Hello, my dear.
Our March all team call with Jerry. Jerry, we are very, very excited for this. Jerry has already told me what he's going to be talking about tonight, and I am buzzing. I've heard this before, and I'm excited to hear it again. And you guys, it's going to blow your mind. If you've not already got your pen and paper, I suggest you run as fast as you can. Use that fistic energy and get your pen and paper, because tonight's call is going to blow your brains out like it always does with Jerry anyway. Jerry, how are you?
Danny, I just sprayed myself with fizzy. I am absolutely fantastic. How are you?
I am on fire at the minute. Do you know what? As a team, as a whole multi-nation success line, last month, we had a phenomenal month. Everybody was on fire. Everybody was thriving. And we've started March, and we're on the 6th of March already. And we've got, I would say 99% of the team are going for area manager qualification this month, whether they're a new IC, whether they've been an IC for a while, whether they're a district manager. Let us know in the comments if you're one of the guys that is going for 10,000 QB this month minimum, and then coming to area manager retreat, which follows on from Jerry's success summit, and coming for dinner with Jerry on Friday the 1st of May. Let us know in the comments.
I'm so excited, and I'm so grateful to be part of this great journey this year, because one thing I've always learned, and this is what I teach. Obviously, you've been around me long enough, you know this. Skill sets are great, but having all the greatest skills in the world with a messed up mindset will get you nowhere. But when you have great skills with a great mindset, man, it's amazing what happens. And I'm telling you, let me tell you why I'm excited. Okay, I'm excited for 2 reasons. Number one, I'm excited to be here right now because I've got a call that's going to blow your socks off. You don't have socks, I'd suggest you put some on so they can blow off when I'm done with this call. Okay, that's number one. But number two, here's why I'm excited. I love doing these calls. I've told you this, and I mean this with everything in me. These are one of my favorite calls to do because I just love the energy of your team. But you know what? I'm getting tired of looking at all of you through a computer screen, which is why I am jacked up that in only 8 weeks, I will be flying across the pond to come see you live and in person. Holy macaroni and cheese. I cannot believe this. It's unbelievable. Gina and I were online last night. We were looking at hotels and Airbnbs, and we're looking at airlines, and it's becoming real. And let me tell you something, guys, 8 weeks. It's going to fly by so fast. And the timing of this, right after GTC, is going to be epic. So I want to encourage you, keep letting your teams know. I'm going to post the link at the end of the call so you can copy and paste. I just got a great video from the one and only legend herself, Donna Johnson, who actually talked about the value of going to a summit, which was one of the highlights of my career, to have Donna Johnson talk about the value of my events. Send that video out. But my friends, I'm telling you right now, we're going to have a great time in 8 weeks live. I can't wait for the dinner. I'm coming hungry. So we're going to not only eat, but let me tell you, this is not just going to be a dinner. This is going to be a mini coaching session, because when I do dinners with teams, it's to have fun. but it's also to help you. So you're going to have private, intimate coaching time with me at this dinner to ask me whatever you want and work on it in person. Whatever you got to do to earn this dinner, I'd say go to work, because it's going to be unbelievable. So today, we are going to talk about something that to me is so important. You know, leadership is so important. And when I come in 8 weeks, we're going to be talking about both mindset and leadership together in the same day. But leadership is important. And the title of this training I'm going to do for you today is The Paradox of Servant Leadership. Now, you know, we throw that term around like nothing. You know, we're servant leaders. And it's true, we are. But what does that really mean? If I were to ask people, okay, what does it mean to be a servant leader? They'd say things like, well, you know, it's about serving others, caring more about others than we do ourselves. And that's all true. But is that really it? And where did this term come from? Who came up with this? So I, in preparation for this call, did some research to find out where did this term come from? And voila, Coach Jerry found the answer. So a gentleman by the name of Robert Greenleaf conceived the paradoxical yet powerful term servant leadership in 1970, 50 years ago. And after 30 years, the concept became so popular and it began to be viewed as the ideal leadership style, aside from all the other leadership styles that were out there, continually changing. And through the evolution of all these different leadership styles, what is it that sets servant leadership apart? Well, what is it that makes it so timeless? And quite honestly, what exactly is true servant leadership? Well, you're going to find out today, my friends, because we are going to talk about the qualities and the characteristics of a servant leader. You will now know exactly how to answer the question the next time somebody says to you, what's a servant leader? And so we're going to use the acrostic leadership. The word leadership written down like that, where each letter of leadership represents a character trait that a servant leader needs to have. And yes, before we get going, put on the brakes. Danny, that's true. Our clocks here in the States go forward Saturday night, Sunday. So we're going forward an hour. So I need to find out when your clocks are coming back, because I have the date scheduled for potentially for our April call, but I don't know the right time. So yours is going at the end of March. Okay, but what does that mean? Does that mean like, would that mean that we would, I don't understand what that means. So we're going to have to figure it out. Because my thought, yes.
That basically means that when it's the call in April, we're back to the exact same time. We're on the same time zone then.
Oh, so it's the same then?
Yeah.
Okay. Does the date I sent you work, Danny, that I texted you?
Yes.
Okay. So for all the planners in the world, our team call is going to be April 10th, so I can light you up before you go to GTC. Okay? So April 10th will be our next team call. All right. So servant leadership, characters, qualities of a servant leader. We're going to use leadership, okay, as the acrostic. And I'm going to give you all these different things. I'm going to expand upon some of them and all of that good stuff. And yes, Sarah, you are correct. We are springing forward. We fell back in November. We're springing forward now. So that is correct. All right. So here we go. Servant leadership, characters, qualities. Let's start with the L. First quality of a servant leader, they are good listeners. Yes. Stop talking so much and listen. Listening is important. And even though you might be a strong communicator, and even though you have a lot to say, oh my gosh, some of you just have way too much to say. It's unbelievable. But even though you're a strong communicator and you have a lot to say, you got to patiently listen before you speak. And yes, Rachel, it is a skill set. See this? 2 and 1. Why? Because we were created to listen twice as much as we speak. And most of the time, if we will learn to ask the right questions and listen to the answers, then people will give you everything you need to know to move them into your business. In fact, one of the segments that I'm going to be training on at the Leadership Summit is the power of questions, how to use them correctly so that you don't tell people things by talking too much. You ask the questions so they can respond, and you listen, and you'll learn everything you need to learn through that process. Every great servant leader is a great listener. When Danny and I do our personal coaching calls every month, and she'll tell you this, the first thing I say to her is, so Danny, tell me where you're at and what can we discuss on the call today that would be of value to you? Right, Danny? And then I have Danny explain what we need to discuss, because I can come to the call and say, okay, Danny, today we're going to talk about this. And Danny's thinking to herself, yeah, that sounds good, but I don't really need that. I need this, but I'm all the way over here. So every time I do personal coaching calls, which, by the way, this is a tip for all of you on how to do great coaching calls, stop talking to people and ask them and then listen. And they will give you everything that you need to move them in the direction that you want to go. So the L in leadership, qualities of a servant's leader, you got to be a good listener. Number 2, or letter E, empathy. Empathy. Now, even though we are emotionally intelligent and we're empathetic, we can still make tough decisions confidently. Now, what is empathy? Empathy is another form of compassion. You know, having empathy for what people are going through, having compassion for what they're dealing with. Now, you can have compassion for what people are going through and not let them suck you in to their negative energy. You know, my mother used to tell me this: misery loves company. And oh my gosh, raise your hands. Come on now, let's be real. If you have ever thrown a pity party, come on now, let me see. Don't let me be the only one. Oh, look at all my pity party friends. This is awesome. Oh, Sonia, that warms my heart. Give Leo a big hug for me. That is awesome. Okay, so I used to do this in my business all the time. I had the most elaborate pity parties. I sent out personal invitations to people. I went ahead and I got my little hat, my blower, one of those things. I even made a cake. And I sat there and waited for people to show up to my pity party. And guess what? Nobody showed up. And nobody's going to show up to yours. So you may as well stop having them. Because what people want is they want you to have a pity party. See, they're in the sandbox. Remember when we were little kids and we were in school? Man, the sandbox. I don't know if you guys have sandboxes out. Do you have sandbox out in the UK? Danny, you do? Okay. So the sandbox was fun. That's where you'd go, you'd hang out, you'd have the sand going through. And so you've got people on your team that are sitting in the sandbox. Oh, that person quit, and the party canceled. And they're sitting there having a pity party in the sandbox. So you can have empathy for what they're going through without jumping into the sandbox with them. Because what they're looking for is somebody to jump in the sandbox with them. And it doesn't need to be you. In fact, if it's not you, they're going to sit around and go, oh, Fiona, this is terrible. And Fiona goes, oh, really? Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, honey. And whoop, Fiona's in the sandbox now. And they're commiserating. And then all of a sudden, here she comes. Debbie's walking by. Debbie's going, why are you in the sandbox? Oh, and then Debbie jumps in. And before you know it, half your team is in the sandbox commiserating with somebody, because misery loves company. My friends, you can be empathetic and compassionate with the things people go through and not jump into the sandbox. Because let me tell you what I used to tell my team. Listen, I'm empathetic and I'm compassionate to what you're going through, but only one of two things is going to happen. I'm either going to help pull you out of the sandbox, or I will leave your butt sitting in it. But I'm not jumping in with you. And that's the leadership mindset. It's like if you're in quicksand, right, and you're sinking, I'm not diving in to the quicksand to try and help you, because then I'm going to sink with you. But I'll hold a stick out for you so you can grab the stick and I'll pull you out, but you're not getting me to go in the quicksand. But we jump in everybody's sandbox because we feel sorry for them. And as a leader, we need to stop that. You can be empathetic and compassionate about people and then begin to immediately work on pulling them out of their sandbox. Because if you don't pull them out, they're going to do everything to pull you in. And once you're in that sandbox, good luck getting out. You don't want to be there. So we got to have empathy. We got to care for people. Okay? That's exactly right, Carol. Throw them the rope. Don't let your arm be the rope, because they're going to pull you in. Okay? You've got to remember this. Don't get in the sandbox with people. Be empathetic for why they're there, and then start helping them come out of it. And if they don't want to, let them be. Somebody else will jump in, but it doesn't need to be you as a leader. Okay? So that's the E, empathy. The A in leadership is awareness. Okay? Being aware. Even though some of your decisions that you make in your business may not be a big deal, maybe some of them are really small, most of the times we're detail oriented and we're aware of the bigger picture. And one thing I've always told this about leadership: leaders see before others see, they do before others do, and they serve before others see the need to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Friday. It's 10 minutes to 8. It's time for Come On Somebody. That was just too good not to repeat again. Leaders see before others see. They do before others do. Jerry, I can't seem to motivate my team. How do I motivate them? Get off your butt and do it first. You want them to sponsor? Are you sponsoring? You want them to invite people to your meetings? Are you inviting people to your meetings? You want them to book events? Is your calendar booked? You want to motivate your team? Go show them what winning looks like. I love you too, Carol. I just tell it like it is, right? So they see before you see. Leaders do before others do, and they serve before others see the need to. That's what awareness is all about. Being aware of everything that you do and doing it first. That's what great leaders do. That's the A. The D is you're decisive. Decisive. Even though we deal with challenges every single day as leaders and as people, we have to overcome them. We have all these crazy choices that we have to make. You're not lost or confused. You're decisive. I don't want to hear anybody say, I'm just so confused. No, you're decisive. What does that mean? That means great leaders make decisions. They don't sit around and elaborate and wonder, well, what they decide, and they make things happen. And let me tell you about being a decisive leader. Your decisions are not always going to make everybody happy. And you just better get used to that. Because as you're building a team with different people and different personalities, it's not about what does everybody want to think. There's times as a leader where you have to make a decision as a leader of what you think's best for the team. And you make that decision understanding that there may be some people who don't agree with it. And that's fine. Have you ever had a time, if you're married, where you didn't agree on something? Well, it's no different in business. But you cannot allow what other people think, feel, or say to take away your ability to be decisive and make decisions that are best for your team. That's what leaders do. I have to make decisions all the time in business. And sometimes I make decisions that some people don't like. Well, how come you did this? And why don't you do that? Well, you know what? Hey, it is what it is. And one of the things that Art Williams, my mentor, used to teach us all the time is he used to say, if you're trying to please everybody, you're going to be trying for a long, long time, because it just never happens. In life, in business, be decisive. Decide to do something, make a decision. Here's something that you can learn. For all of my world famous overthinking friends on the call, the people who overthink everything, here's how you become decisive. Stop thinking about what you should be doing and start doing what you're thinking about. Oh, come on, somebody. Holy mackerel. Let me say that one again. Stop thinking about what you're doing. Stop thinking about what you should be doing and start doing what you're thinking about. That's decisive. Well, you know, I know I need to go prospect. I need to find some people. But, you know, well, it's just one of those days and I don't really know. And I mean, I don't really know what to say. And what if I get them involved? What am I going to do? Do I get them on a call? Do I bring them to a meeting? Go, oh my gosh, I'm going to explode. Stop it. Just go do something. Go make a decision. I'm going to go talk to somebody. Well, what if I get a name and number? Fantastic. You'll deal with it when you get the name and number. Chances are you'll probably get a few no's before you get a name and number. So just be decisive. Just be decisive. The E in leadership is empowering. Empowering. Even though you're blessed with many opportunities for growth and success, you share them with your team. And here's the 3 things that you need to be a master at with your team. I call it the 3 E's, the letter E, the 3 E's. These are the 3 things you got to master with your team. Encourage them, equip them, and empower them. That's your job as a leader, to encourage people, to equip them with the right tools so that they can win, and then empower them to go out and get it done. We need to stop enabling people and start empowering them. We need to stop doing everything for people and start showing them how to do it themselves. That's what great leaders do. They're empowering. That's what a servant leader is. You encourage your team, you equip your team, you empower your team. Those are the 3 E's of leadership when it comes to your business. If you just focused on those things, it's amazing what will happen in your business and in your life. That's the E in leadership. The R is real. This is moi. This is me. And even though you've achieved and accomplished great heights, your team still finds you right beside them on the same level, relatable and real. Let me explain something to you, my friends. I am very humbled by all the love that gets showered upon me from all of you guys. Very, very humbled about that. But the one thing I always told people when I started coaching is this: if at any time you see me sitting on a pedestal do me a favor and knock me off. Because I never want to be on a pedestal. I never want to be above people. I want to be with people. I want to be real and relatable. That's why I've had such success in what I've done, because I'm real. When you come on a Coach Jerry call, you know it's going to be real. You may not like some of the things that I've got to tell you, but I don't care, because it's real. And I'm relatable because I know what it's like to build a network marketing business. I've done it. I know what it's like to be a VP in the business. I've done it. I know what it's like to pull your hair out of your head because your team drives you nuts. I've got the bald spot to prove it. I've done it, okay? I understand what it's like to have your team leave. I get it. And so what makes me a great coach is that I'm relatable because I've been there and I've done that. We need to be real with the people in our lives. People want to see that you're right there with them, working it with them. You're not by yourself. They're not by themselves. You're there helping them along. That's what leadership is all about. So the R is you got to be real. I hope you're getting this, because this is exciting. The S in leadership is servanthood. The S is servanthood. Even though success is important, significance is vital. You are strong while you serve others. But listen to this. You touch hearts before you ask for their hands. Oh, man. You touch people's hearts before you ask for their hands. You move people emotionally. And we've grown up in a world that taught us you got to be successful, strive for success. That's all I've ever done. Strive for success. And then I wondered, why am I striving for success yet I'm struggling? That was me in my network marketing business. Why am I struggling for success, or striving for success, but I'm struggling? Because success is different than significance. Success is when you add value to yourself. Significance is when you add value to other people. And so let me say it again. Success is when you add value to yourself. Significance is when you add value to other people. And so when I shifted my mindset and I lost my network marketing business, and I'll tell you all the details of that story at the summit. But at the end of the day, I strived for success and I ended up losing my business. But when I started coaching, I said, you know what? I don't care about success. I'm going to strive for significance. I'm going to focus on adding value to people's lives. And the more value I add to people's lives, guess what follows right behind that? Success. I am successful today because of the value that I add into people's lives. And when you look at what you do, I don't think you guys understand the value you add into people's lives. The value from the products that you're able to help people with to change their life. The value of the business and for the love of Pete, based on the news, the whole universe is going to be dying of the coronavirus within the next 6 weeks. Now, I'm not downplaying this, but it's just, my gosh. Do you know how many things have come out over the last 10 years that we were all supposed to die from? And we're still here. There was SARS, there was all this other stuff, there was the Ebola virus. We were all supposed to be wiped out. We're still here. And you know how you combat these things? You build your health from the inside out. What do you teach? How to build your health from the inside out. What a great time to go out there and share value. Because when you share the value with enough people, success will follow you. So that's servanthood. That's the S. The H and the I go hand in hand. They are the two things that I pride myself on. The H is humility. Okay, humility. Even though you're respected for what you've accomplished, you're always humble and you give credit where credit is due. Man, there is no room in this business for egos. Okay, there's just none. Egos don't make it long-term in this business. Be humbled. The greatest compliment that I'm ever given is from people that have been in my life when I was broke, when I didn't know how I was going to pay my rent, when I didn't have money for food, when I couldn't pay all my bills. And these people in my life have watched this transformation happen over the last 15 years. And the greatest compliment that they give me is they'll say, you know what I love about you the most, Jerry? Is they, and only someone who knew me back then could say this, is they said, you are the same person today that you were when you were broke. And you know why? Because if money defines you, then money owns you. Come on. If money defines you, money owns you. I'm going to be humbled, grateful, appreciative. What do I always tell you guys? How grateful and humbled I am to be on these calls and be part of this journey. Let me just tell you, I'm not just blowing smoke up your gazoo. I mean it. I'm humbled to be here. I'm excited to be with you guys. I'm grateful that Danny and Fiona see the value I'm trying to bring, that they allow me to be part of this, and we're going to do this for an entire year. Always be humbled. Always show humility. And then the I that goes right into that is integrity. The I is integrity. Even though as a leader you go through trials, tribulations, and temptations, your core values should never change. And you lead with trust and you lead with integrity, and understand this. Integrity is the foundation of leadership. If you lose your integrity, you've lost everything. Walk in it every day. Integrity is just very simply doing what's right no matter what. That's integrity. Doing the right thing no matter what. And then the P in leadership is persevering. Persevering. Even though you may face disappointments, difficulties, and challenges, you will press forward with passion and purpose towards your higher calling. One of the greatest skill sets that you need to learn in this business is how to persevere. Because let me tell you the truth, let me be real. In this business, you're going to get knocked down many, many times. But who cares? Are you going to get up every time you get knocked down? That's perseverance. Danny's story, I mean, Danny was laid out. She wasn't just knocked down, she was laid out flat on the floor. And yet somehow she persevered and kept coming back up and coming back up and coming back up. Fiona has had many times in her business where she's been knocked down. But I'll tell you one thing, if she stayed down and didn't persevere to get back up, she would have not found this champion named Danny Wells. And Danny Wells wouldn't have found this incredible team of champions if at first Fiona didn't persevere and keep getting up when she got knocked down. If you're not getting knocked down as a leader, you're not doing anything. And if you're not doing anything, how do you expect to win? When you're getting knocked down, your mind's going, hey, I'm doing something. I'm getting knocked down. Up I go. This party canceled. Boom. Let's do another one. Oh, this person quit. Boom. Let's sponsor another one. That's what persevering is all about. And so we're talking about qualities of servant leadership: listener, empathy, awareness, decisive, empowering, real, servanthood, humility, integrity, persevering. And then there's two different types of mindsets that people have as a servant leader. And this was written so beautifully in a book called Mindset, The New Psychology of Success by Carol Dweck, D-W-E-C-K. So she talked about, what does a person with a fixed mindset look like? And this is what she said. People with fixed mindsets, they believe that their basic qualities, like their intelligence and their talent, are just fixed traits. This is just the way I am. That's a statement from someone with a fixed mindset. They spend their time documenting their intelligence and their talent instead of developing them. And they believe that talent all by itself creates success without any effort. That's someone with a fixed mindset. Someone with a growth mindset, they believe that their basic abilities can be developed through dedication, hard work, because they know that brains and talent are just the starting point. And this view creates a love of learning, personal development, and a resilience that's essential for great accomplishment. A great quote that I heard was this: successful leaders lead with passion and compassion. Successful leaders lead with passion and compassion. And as servant leaders, we focus on growing daily because we can't give what we don't have. Why do I need to personally develop? Because you can't give what you don't have. Danny has been in our VP coaching group for 3.5 years. And let me tell you something. It's not easy to come up with trainings for 3.5 years to train VPs. But you know how I do that? Because I give what I filled myself up with. And if I don't fill myself up with anything, I give nothing. When you guys come to the call every month, I come prepared with something to inspire you. You're probably going, oh my God, there's another great message. Well, yes, but that doesn't come by accident. That comes from preparing, growing, knowing that I can't give you what I don't have myself. That's why we need to grow in personal development. See, when your leadership is built on love, humility, and servanthood, obstacles are overcome like you can't believe. And success is achieved through the strength that's found in your endurance. A servant leader utilizes love to fuel themselves and their people to achieve anything and everything. And one of the greatest quotes I've ever heard is this: if serving is below you, leadership is beyond you. Ooh, another good one. If serving is below you, leadership is beyond you. So it's time to ask yourself a couple questions as a leader. Number one, who are you serving? Be clear on that. Who are you serving? Number two, what value are you adding to them? And what are you doing to grow your value so you have more value to give? And then number three, are you ready to transform people's lives with your leadership? Because if the answer is yes, you now understand the character traits of a servant leader. Work on them, develop them, grow them, strengthen them. And as you do that, and you take all the tools your leaders are giving you, you're going to start seeing explosive, unbelievable growth in your business. This are just little highlights of things that we will be going over live at our UK Summit May 2nd. It's coming up faster than you think. So I am going to post the link here to the UK Summit. You can copy, paste that, send that out to your teams. I'm telling you. Coach Jerry on Zoom, pretty exciting. Coach Jerry in person, you might need some drugs before you get there to calm you down. It's an exciting experience, okay? The summit is as much an experience as it is the learning that we're going to do. And we are going to do some incredible learning that day. It's going to change your life. So I hope and pray that this helped you. I hope that this fired you up, gave you a great picture of what does a servant leader look like and what do I need to do to really become one, because that's what we're all called to do. So Danny, I'm going to turn it over to you, and then we'll open it up for questions and all of that stuff. And don't worry, you guys, it's recorded, so whatever you missed, you got a recording. So Danny, I'll turn it over to you.
Absolutely love that, Jerry. Your trainings are always from the heart, and you're so right when you say that you've been training me personally for 3.5 years, and you do always come out with new content, and that is so true. But it's also worth bearing that in mind for all of us. So all of us on the call right now, we're leaders. Whether you're a team of one, you're still leading yourself. So you're still a leader. And you might think to yourself, gosh, when I've been doing this business a year, 2 years, 5 years, 12 years, like Fiona, Jerry's been in the industry for, I don't know, 30 years or something.
27.
So, hey, what was that?
Oh, 27 years.
Okay, so when you think to yourself, am I still going to be coming out with good content for the people that are following me? Absolutely, as long as you're still filling your bucket. A lot of the time when I do a training, it's usually about the last book I've read and the golden nuggets that I took from it. And that's why I'm still in Jerry's coaching, because it's always new information. It's always new golden nuggets. I'm always making loads of notes, thinking, oh my gosh, that's brilliant. That's absolutely fantastic. And because Jerry's still working on himself, he's always raising the bar on his level of energy and the things that he's learning. I'm chasing that all the time. But if he stopped raising the bar on himself, I would chase him and surpass him. And that's never going to happen, because he's never going to do that. But that's how it is for us. So we need to constantly be raising the bar on ourselves. So I just want to say to all of you leaders on the call right now, you're on this call. You are showing up for yourself, and you are raising the bar for yourselves, for your current team and your future team. You are showing up as a national vice president in training. And I just want to say, like, you should really pat yourself on the back massively, because sometimes things aren't convenient, but the fact that even inconvenient things that happen, you're still raising the bar for yourselves. You should be so proud, really proud. Jerry, that call, that training, phenomenal. Just, I don't know how you do it, but it's always perfect timing for what we need to hear. It's brilliant.
Thank you, Danny, my dear. And I just do it because I work on myself incessantly. I grow myself, and then I just feel what I think people need to hear. And here's the great thing. We're developing a library of these calls, because every month we do this. This is month number 3. These are all recorded. So you have the ability to think about this. At the end of the year, there's going to be 12 of these calls. You can go back to any one of them and re-listen to those calls and keep growing and keep developing and keep doing that stuff. That's the beauty of the business. That's why I'm such a proponent of personal growth. You know, in August, I'm going to be at Green Bay, which I'm very excited about. My 4th year in a row, I get to be there. And then 2 weeks after that, I'm flying to Florida to go back to John Maxwell's training and get recertified again as a speaker and a coach and a trainer with him. Why am I going to do that? I did it 2 years ago. What am I going to do that for? Because I'm not the same person I was 2 years ago. I've grown more 2 years ago. So by going back, not only am I going to make new connections, I'm going to learn and hear things at a higher level that I didn't get the first time that I was there 2 years ago. That's why people come to my summits in the States. That's why I've had people come 6, 7 times, because they say, every time I come, I always hear something different. And I said, yeah, because your mind is in a different location than it was when you first came the first time. Now, I don't have the opportunity, unfortunately, to do 6, 7 summits, year after year in the UK. I do plan on coming back after this one. But at the end of the day, plug in now. While I'm there, plug in now. Let's eat together. Let's grow together. Let's laugh together. Let's hug. Let's take pictures together. Let's blow up the internet and show people. I mean, let's have some fun. I'm coming there to have fun because that's what I'm all about. When you have fun, you learn. And the greatest thing I could teach you is laughter. Make people laugh. When people laugh, it drops their defenses. It relaxes them. And then they learn and absorb more than if they didn't. That's why I'm always a giant goof. Doesn't matter. If it helps you learn, so be it. Yeah, so Rachel, yes, you asked a question last month that didn't get answered. Okay.
I don't think she's on though. I've just had a quick scan, unless anyone can see otherwise. She was on, but I think she must have come off. But I know she asked a question at the last call, so I was going to let her go next. But oh, she's driving home. Okay, fine. Does anyone else have a question?
The Stomach Summit is coming to the UK, my friends. Get prepared. Yeah, any other questions anybody else has on this call, just in general? We still have a few minutes, and I'm here, so if you got any questions, let me know. I think everybody's good. Nobody has anything. I'm disappointed.
Nikki, I think Nikki Marchant's waving. Is that Nikki? Is that you saying you've got a question? Or are you just waving? Oh, who are you waving at?
I think she's just waving at everybody.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm just sending a happy Friday vibe to everyone with my San Francisco backdrop, which I found on my way in. I just thought I'd spread some joy.
I love it.
Fantastic, Jerry. Absolutely rocking. I cannot wait for the May 2nd. I seriously really cannot. I mean, like, really cannot.
Can I be honest with you?
Yes,
Neither
absolutely.
can I.
Always be honest.
Neither can I. You know, sometimes the greatest compliment after you do a call is when nobody has questions, because you did such a good job of giving them value. They just have nothing else to say. So I'll just take it as that it was that good that there's just, what else are we going to say? That's it. But I want to just tell everybody how excited I am that every time we do these calls, Danny, we always have 45, 50 people on these calls on a Friday night. And that is really, really impressive. And I'm just really proud of all of you guys. That's great. But you know what? Got to keep growing these numbers. I'd love to grow these numbers. My goal, because I'm a big thinker, my goal is by the end of the summer, at the latest, these calls are popping 100 every time we do them. Why not? Because what does that mean? You're growing. You got new people on your team. You're plugging them into the calls. You're letting me work on their mindset and their leadership. I mean, I believe we can do that. So that's my goal, is I want to see triple digits on this call. Not once, on a regular basis, because that means growth is happening. And that's what I'm all about, is growth. Can anyone buy a ticket to the summit? Yes, Sonia, they can. They can. Most of what I'm going to be sharing with you, I custom tailor it towards an Arbonne crowd. But most of what I'm going to teach is anybody in any business could gain value from it. Whether they're in real estate, whether they're in sales, whatever, they can gain value from it. So yes, if you have people in other businesses that want to be there, have them show up. That's fine.
Wonderful. Right. Well, we'll end this call, Jerry. Thank you so much for your time. And we will see you on the 10th of April, Friday night again.
I can't wait. It's in my calendar.
Okay. Same time, UK time, 7:30 p.m. And thank you again, Jerry, for pouring into all of us. I think we're all filled up, cups filled, ready for the weekend. And we love you so much. Thank you.
Love you guys too. And we'll see you next month.
Bye.
Bye, everybody. Bye, Danny.